Yo, guys, I swear, remember the whole motto of the original Jurassic Park? Spare no expense? Well, apparently, whoever constructed that dino exhibit laboratory or whatever, they were cutting expenses on the electrical work. Because, god dang it, that Snickers wrapper.
It's $1 trillion to keep that park up.
Dude. I know everybody. Dude, I swear, that Snickers wrapper had a mind of its own, man. Like, what
And,
the,
and
what the
think, and think of the tariffs. Who owns Jurassic World, the island? All right, what
It was
country?
a guy who got killed in Jurassic
Is it
World.
like Antarctica
Number
where a
one.
bunch of where like no country actually owns it? Like what's
Yeah,
the deal?
No, there are islands.
No, there's the guy who owned it, and he got killed in Jurassic World one.
okay,
He was the
what
guy who the pilot dude.
There,
was he? What was he
Well, I'm
American
assuming
or
then the
what?
UN would have to step in
He
and
was
be
not
like,
American.
Oh, what was he?
mm,
Do we know?
listen,
I don't think we know.
Okay.
I swear, audience. I tried watching Jurassic World Rebirth for the sake of the community, right? Talk about that, but I only watched about one quarter of it because I don't know if someone higher up was like, "You have better things to do with your life than to sit here and watch this." Because a quarter into that film, the fire alarms went on. This is the first time experience I ever had to go through this. The movie cut off, the sirens were on, we all had to leave, and it turns out like one of the other buildings, the other stores in that plaza set off the alarms.
Did you get your
So
money
I
back?
can, yes, yes. Like we didn't know how this was going to be done. Like, are we just going to go back and finish off where we left off, or but now they're like saying, no, we have to continue on with the schedule, with the movie schedules we have for today. So everybody else who was watching that movie will automatically refund you. You know, and
Makes sense.
you know, I look from the bits I saw already, and I've also been seeing reviews on this movie. Like I was already going into this movie not expecting to like it, but from the quarter I saw of it, like again that Snickers wrapper, dude. Like you're telling me this whole chain reaction of the mutated dinosaurs running amok was because of the dang Snickers wrapper got clogged into one of the airtight sliding doors. Like, you
That
know,
isn't that literally just Final Destination stuff?
what was that?
You seen Final Destination Bloodlines?
Oh, well, I didn't see that one, but yeah, it kind of
Oh,
falls under that
so
core category.
that one,
But,
that all the kid did was throw a penny off a skyscraper and it started the whole thing.
wow. I, Audience, I'll say this: like, I'm an electrician, right? So, from an electrical standpoint, I gotta call the bullshit out on this, right? So, you're telling me the circuit that the circuit that's dedicated to subduing these creatures is on the same line as the one controlling the sliding doors?
To be fair, that's how it was in the original part too.
You thought they would
The
arm?
original in the Austin, the original in the 90s? Like
You gotta remember, no, you gotta remember this lab is the same one.
They don't. So,
okay,
like,
I'll give you that. I'll give you
by the way,
that.
I don't know Jurassic World. Look, I don't really pay attention. I just watched
No,
it.
no, this lab isn't the lab for Jurassic World. This is the lab for the original.
Oh, okay. So they never
Okay,
updated.
I'll give you that, Austin, because like even at the first movie audience, yeah, we also have to keep in mind from another electrical standpoint. You would assume that a park containing dinosaurs, where the only thing separating the dinosaurs from the guests is an electric fence, right? You would think wanting to put in a couple backup generators in this island could go a long way. I mean, there life happens at some point, like or another. The power will go out. You know, just saying. You know, and that's what I gotta say about like that whole Snickers thing. Like you're telling me, like, look, this is why dedicated lines are a thing, audience, because you don't. Because if something else trips, it could affect whatever else is in that line. Like, imagine this. Imagine if what was subduing those mutated dinosaurs was on the same circuit as an outlet in the kitchen. Oh shit! Like, the I tried plugging in my toaster oven and that tripped the circuit, and now all the mutated dinosaurs are unleashed. Like, no, that is not how that works. Or whoever did do that should get fired. I'm just saying, Jurassic World staff, hire an electrician who knows what they're doing. Like,
Hire me.
yeah, hire me, Jurassic World. I mean, my chances of survival are good, right? If I perform some services amongst actual living, breathing dinosaurs, what could go wrong? Like, yeah. But again, aside from that,
To
just
be
nothing in the
fair,
movie. Yeah.
this is the same franchise that had that horrible disaster and then somehow still got the park approved.
True.
Like, we all know this park would not supposed to exist after the first film.
It's been a while.
There's gonna be no way they somehow
Or
got that
it
off the
would
ground.
be massively rebranded. Because,
Yeah.
why would you go on a cruise ship called the Titanic 2? You know what I mean? That just sounds stupid.
Oh,
Didn't that happen?
You call it something different.
Didn't that happen?
That was a sub. That was
Dude,
them being idiots. But
that is bad mojo. Like, who the hell thought that was a good idea, man?
Right.
But yeah, from what I saw, audience, like, there just really wasn't anything in that movie. I was like telling me, let's go back. I should go back and finish this. Just what can you do with dinosaurs at that point? Like,
You do Dino Crisis, and they just refuse to do it.
I mean,
They do
remember
Dino Resident Evil.
Austin. Remember what the other alternative plot to this Jurassic World Rebirth was going to be?
You mean the human dinosaur people?
Yes. At that point, you're like, what is this franchise anymore? Like, seriously,
Well, there you have it. I would ask if Cryptic recommend it, but he didn't even finish the movie. But not his fault. But
Yep. Who knows? Maybe somebody threw a Snickers wrapper in the air vents.
There you go. And it caused a chain reaction.
Yep.
The ventilation shaft, the fan stalled, and the wire sparked. It was over.
Yep. Alrighty. So yeah. So with that, I guess you guys now that we got all the giggles out of the way, you guys want to get started?
Why not?
Sure.
Gotcha. So anyway, welcome to Comic Fanatic Live, the news and reviews of the week, audience. You're here with me, Cryptic Seeker 415. Intros are for Tuesdays.
Technically, those are intros.
Okay.
And you're with me, Jake Tylenol, returning back to his duties as the Bionicle War guy this week. So, there we go.
It's Ricky Wall here. Jake is not talking about Doctor Who. Thank God.
Yeah,
he is.
No,
he is.
Yeah,
no.
It's on the list. It's the second thing.
No.
Yeah. Okay. Well, this happened.
Anyways, I'm Richter, also known as the Witch of Jotunheim, pronouns they, he, and if you're going to the Uncanny Experience this coming up weekend, your boy will be there. Feel free to say hi to me, or whatever the hell you want to do.
Where are you going on my birthday?
Ooh.
I don't know, do you want to go to Minneapolis?
No.
Then that's what I thought.
Yeah.
Okay, I can only afford one ticket. I was barely able to even afford the after party ticket. Oh, that's expensive.
And together we form the Fanatics, and we talk about the news and reviews of the week. And on our special Monday nights, it's our media news and some reviews. We'll be reviewing some trailers we've seen today. We're reviewing some TV shows of old today. Wait, hang on.
I can't see the list. Did you post it?
We got one comic review today.
We got one comic review.
That won't be here tomorrow. Sorry,
Can you post it again?
I have work.
Yeah. Prepare to get schooled with some Avengers Academy later down the line.
Why?
Yeah.
Because which is going to be tomorrow, so we're going to.
And I didn't want to talk about the Hellfire Vigil because I didn't like it. Sorry, guys. I would have, but I didn't like it.
Thank you.
You know what's crazy? I think all of us get a review for a thing that nobody else watched.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
What are you talking about?
Oh, well, I guess Witch and Austin watched Ironheart, so I guess they'll be with that together.
Yeah, I have 8 minutes and 30 seconds left in the last episode. So.
Okay. Well, so
Cryptid don't worry, it will be finished by the time we get to the review.
Cryptid talked about Jurassic Park. I talked about Doctor Who, and Austin, you're gonna mainly be on Ironheart. Well, I mean, Witch is gonna be there, and then
Witch. I'm
and then Witch gets Avengers Academy. So
Harmony, audience, harmony.
So yeah, but we also have socials. That's true.
No, we don't.
Yes,
I don't even know how to get the socials up anymore. Like what happened? I
you know, it's all good. Regardless, I know them by heart. Anyways, you can first subscribe to us because that'll be nice. You know, that'll be a great birthday gift for Austin. I don't know, man. You know, why not? You can also follow us on our Twitter at Comic Fanatic 69. If you guys get us to 100 subscribers on our YouTube channel, you guys will get something pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie to you there. You're gonna have to wait and see though. Anyways, if you want to see what I'm up to, because like I said, I'm going to the Uncanny Experience this coming up weekend. You can follow me on my Twitter at Witch of Jotun with an E instead of a U. If you want to see me argue with people with fandom spaces, it's great. Just kidding. No, it isn't. You can also find me on TikTok, Instagram, and all that jazz at witch_of_Jotunheim, because I have been posting updates on my cosplay coming up. One of two coming up.
Nope.
Yeah.
I got banned on TikTok, by the way.
Huh? You got banned off TikTok? That's criminal.
Yeah.
Oh.
That should be illegal.
I had to message you my new one.
Anyways, you can also find me on Tumblr and Blue Sky at North Star Aria. You can find me on Redno/Xiaohongshu at Witch of Jotun. And if you want to support me financially or just maybe see some works in progress on like art or my fan fiction that I need to work on, you can find me on Ko-Fi at Witch of Jotunheim. And TikTok, if you want to give Austin his account back before we're all forced to go to an American-owned version of TikTok, which is going to suck ass. I already know it is. That would be nice. That would be lovely. Anyways, Crypt is in the same spot as always. And Jake, are you still in the vastness of the cosmos?
No, I don't want to talk to Matt Smith, bro. I'm gonna be in. I'm going back to Voyanui. All right,
Okay, I can send you back there. I'll send you a portal.
Yeah, I don't want to talk to Matt Smith, bro.
He's lying, bro.
I don't like his fucking face. I don't like Matt Smith's face.
What are you talking about? Everyone on Tumblr loved him.
I don't like his face. His eyes look weird to me. I can't do it.
You guys talk about British people?
I like other British people. I like Eccleston and Tennant. I don't like Matt Smith's face, bro. I really don't. I don't get why people find that attractive.
You hear this man Adam say, yeah, I like the purple man, but Matt Smith, that's a little bit too much.
That's where I draw the line.
Yeah, you like Zebediah Kilgrave, but you don't like the guy from Morbius.
Bro, he looks like his eyes are. And listen, shout out to the guy. I'm pretty sure he's a great actor. But he looks like his eyes are embedded in his skull. I can't do it. I can't.
And our eyes are supposed to be.
No, but it looks wrong. It just doesn't look right. Tony,
wow, isn't that a form of body shaving, Jake? Wow.
Channel Tony says he thinks because it's his eyebrows that are giving me that illusion, because that's the only way, and that's how he thinks his eyebrows makes his forehead look bigger or something like that. I just think it looks weird.
You saying he got the eyebrows of the thing? See how rude Dick is?
I'm just saying. I watched an episode and I said, I don't know if I can do this for 3 seasons, but I'll give it a shot. Well, we'll see.
Do you know how Alex Ross draws Hulk?
Yeah.
That's the type of head he's saying Matt Smith has.
Oh, wow.
Good.
Okay. But, alrighty then. I guess with that, you guys want to get on to the topics?
Yeah.
All right, let's move on.
Hey,
to the
besties. You guys ready to poke people alive?
He's
No.
based on
Am I the only person that
that.
read this manga?
Yeah.
Huh?
Am I the only person that read this manga?
I read
Man.
some of the manga when I was
Man,
sick.
does that look like the pose of somebody who's about to poke you? Really?
No, but he will
He's
do
about
it.
to. He's about to fist you. Pause.
But no, to be fair,
That much.
the pokes
That's
is
more
just
of a
supposed to be the
Saitama
final attack.
Oh wow.
Okay, so basically, it just got announced as of like yesterday that we're finally getting the Fist of the North Star movie next year in 2026. But there's one glaring issue I have. Okay, it's not 2D animated; it's CG. And from what we've seen in the teaser trailer, it looks like ass.
I would have been okay with CG if they did it a few years ago. So I think
But
only me and Jake play Yakuza.
thing, man.
The
It's like I
franchise?
know CG anime could look good because I've seen the first season of Beastars. I've seen some of Trigun Stampede, and stuff like that. But it's like this one just looked like 2016
No.
Berserk.
No, what I mean is Fist of North Star got a game by the Yakuza people in like 2014, 2015.
I did know
And the
that.
CGI for the cutscene for that was great. So if it was like that quality, I would have let it slide.
It
I
was
don't know why
not.
they decided to do this.
It was not that good. It did not look
It
good.
looked like it had a PSP budget, and they said make some cutscenes.
Yeah. That's why I said it kind of looks like 2016 Berserk rather than like Trigun Stampede.
Right.
And maybe that's just for the teaser. Who knows?
See.
However,
I doubt it.
yeah. Just like the Rose of Versailles movie, which I heard was god awful. I'm kind of scared for this one because,
This
You
is
know,
why
my mom
people can't get into older anime. Because
No,
anytime
it's
they
like,
make a return, they
this
kind of
movie's
fuck them
not gonna
over.
help. This movie's not gonna fucking help with that because then they're gonna think the original is gonna look just as ass, and it's not.
This
Like,
is a
is it
man
an
who
older
walked
anime?
through a
Yes.
falling skyscraper.
Like, Kenshiro is super cool, man. He's super cool, super goated.
This is also why we'll never
Way
get the
too OP
prequel
for
animated.
him. He's
Wait,
too
did you
OP
know this
for
series had a prequel?
a prequel.
Oh.
Yeah.
Before the
I think
apocalypse.
So the prequel is about his uncle and before the bomb who dropped that fucked up the world.
Oh yeah. You're right.
And it's called Fist
I
of the Blue
kinda
Sky.
wanna
And we'll never
rewatch
get
Fist
it
of the
because
North
we'll
Star.
never finish this anime.
I kind of want to either read the whole manga or watch the whole anime. I don't know which one I want to do first. I kind of want to finish a different show first, but regardless, if this movie is bad, I'm just gonna tell everyone to go watch the original anime or read the manga. There's a bunch of hardcovers out there.
This reminds me of the Saint Seiya remake, and I feel like there's gonna be a lot of unnecessary changes.
They were abridging that. Story.
Yeah, that was basically a whole different show.
They wrote that anime like they were trying to write the movie version. I was like, what's going on?
And the funny part is, you remember a few years later, the live action movie came out, and it was totally different too.
That's true.
Yeah, I'm being aware of it. I don't know how good it's gonna be. I don't know if it's just gonna like release on like streaming or if it's gonna go to theaters or what, but who knows. I just hope it's good. That's my thing.
Yeah.
I just hope it's good. Because if it's bad, I'm gonna feel bad for that one cosplayer on TikTok who cosplays Fist of the North Star characters and it's like the only person. And her shit is good.
Oh.
I just feel bad, man. This is the manga that inspired a lot of Dragon Ball when it comes to
And
key
also
blast and stuff, and it was just
And
never
also
get that respect
JoJo,
because
who
people
was
don't see it.
curious.
Yeah, well, if you saw JoJo Part 1, you know it's inspired by this.
Oh,
Mhm.
heavily.
Yeah,
Heavily.
yeah,
But-
they don't get a lot of respect they're supposed to get because it's old and people don't want to go back. But like, Fist of North Star is a classic, man.
Ain't nothing wrong with an oldie. Plus, this one,
Mhm.
this fucking
You think
franchise
iPad kids
one of
to
the
be able to watch
greatest
that old
animes.
animation?
It spawned some of the greatest memes in anime history.
Oh yeah.
Already did. Nani?
This is the origin of people ripping their shirts off mid-fight. You could have got it from this.
Yeah. And they
Plus,
paid
we've
a
already
lot
had one bad Fist of the North Star movie. I don't want another one.
Yakuza really said, and we're gonna pay you back. We're gonna make a game about it. We're gonna make a game about you.
That game was good too. That's the worst part. That game was the original story, but it was pretty good.
Yeah, but let's hope for the best and expect the worst. That's my life here.
There you go. But alrighty then. I guess with that, we can move on to the next topic, audience. Jake, you bring up the picture.
Oh right, I forgot we can't go in order anymore. Okay.
Come on, Jake, it's up to you. There you go.
Yeah, there we go. So this is an example of me having to eat my words, and I never doubted David said it would be a good doctor. I didn't realize that he was so good. Like it's
He
like
doubted the GOAT. He
it's
heard
like-
and he knew people considered David Tennant to go for.
well, I thought it was like the Tobey Maguire thing where people just overglaze this guy. I'm like, yeah, he's good, but like there are other good Spider-Man, but and I love Eccleston. I think he did a great job. I think for one season he did great with the character. But like, damn, the fact he had to be right next to Tenet, it was like, that's crazy. I get why people don't talk about it that much. Anyway, we are back with Doctor Who Season 4, the ending of the Russell T. Davies era. Basically, think about this as the ending of a long comic run. And that's how Doctor Who tells the stories in the modern day. Each showrunner is basically doing their own comic run. And then at the end, they soft reboot the series so the next showrunner can take over. And that's how they do it. So this story picks up after Season 3, immediately after Season 3, where Martha has quote unquote dumped the Doctor, and the Doctor is alone again, and he is trying to cope with that because it's hard being a 900-year-old man and you have no one to share all this adventure with. And there is a scene, actually, I think that really fucking highlights this so well, where the Doctor, it's played up as a very comedic first episode. And the Doctor goes to the TARDIS and he's doing his usual like exposition about the plot. And he realizes like no one's there. And he just stops talking. And there's just a 30-second scene of him just like quietly in the TARDIS, just realizing he's by himself. I was like, this sucks. But anyway, as you can tell from the thumbnail of this, eventually he does meet a companion or reunites with one, Donna Paulson. This is our companion for the season. Now, we met Donna way back in the first Christmas special where Doctor Who, the Doctor, killed a bunch of babies and an alien spider. Don't worry, they deserved it. And so,
babies?
Well, he told the lady, to be fair, hang on. He told the lady, listen, you can't breed on Earth, so I need you to get the fuck off, and I will help you find the planet. But if you don't, whatever happens next is on you. And she said, nah, fuck you. And so he burned them all alive.
Oh, God.
So he burned the babies, and then the military killed the spider lady. So,
isn't there an oath or something a Doctor's supposed to take, man?
Well, I mean, okay, so here's the thing about the Doctor. He's believe it or not, he's actually very restrictive. He doesn't use guns. He hates guns, actually. I think he only pulled out a gun once, and it was only because of a Dalek, and that was PTSD talking. But he hates guns, and he won't kill unless you get him to that point. But it would be like, you know how like we all complain about that Batman comic where Batman shot Red Hood instead of the Joker. In that situation, what happened is the Doctor, Jason would try to kill the Joker, and the Doctor would take the gun and he'd be like, "Don't do it, because I'm gonna do it." Don't worry.
Okay.
So, but it's mostly like he has the he has the
We can hear you. A guy who sealed a person away in a mirror, threw a person to a black hole, knowing they won't die.
Yeah.
And then some other fucking shit. And it was all for one family.
That's because he was depressed, okay? And to be fair, that family, the bodies they're in, they stole that skin from somebody else. So they actually did kill the people that they are. So.
Oh my God! They killed one human.
They were killing one human, and they were going to kill a bunch of other people because they wanted the Doctor's lifespan. So
you put a person in the middle of a black hole.
Yes. And you know what's crazy? I told y'all
to kill people if he has to. This is what
I told y'all to leave me alone. That was your warning. I even left. I ran away and I put myself in hiding so you would leave me alone. And you didn't do it, so fuck you. And also you also killed my human self. You made me have to kill my human self, so you're gonna get it. But I'm actually glad you brought that up, Austin, because this season actually deals with that. The Doctor he tries to be a pacifist, but he has these tendencies where sometimes he thinks he's a god. And to be fair, by everyone else's standards, for a lot of people, he basically is. Because he's so advanced and he's so smart, you see. And we'll get to it in the specials, but the specials really do highlight the Doctor. If he doesn't have a companion with him, sometimes he will slip into this, like, I can just do whatever I want, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, this season was pretty fun. I really did like the Doctor and Donna's relationship. For once, it wasn't a romantic thing, and I love how the Doctor even says, like, "Listen, I'm not looking for like a relationship. If you have a crush on me, like, just leave that over there. I'm only taking you if you're gonna be my friend, because I'm not trying to date or anything." And Donna's like, I don't even give a shit about you like that. I just want to go to bed. Okay, cool. Donna herself, her thing is that she is a simple temp woman who is bored of life and wants to go on adventures, much like Rose. But unlike Rose, she's not like on a lot of the adventures, she's not as like intuitive as like Rose and Martha are. She's compassionate, but she's not like as intelligent, I would say. Like, she's not like street smart like they are. But she basically helps the Doctor like level out on an emotional sense, or be his emotional support when he needs it. Because, oh my God, there was one episode where I was like, yo, give this man a hug. this the one episode I do like, this comes up later, so I should bring it up now. There's an episode very early on in season 4 where the Doctor accidentally goes back to the time period of Pompeii, right when the volcano erupts, and also when Loki shows up to prove his point in season 1. But so the Doctor says, this is a fixed point in time. I can't fix this. And Donna says, well, why not? You can fix everything else. He's like, well, yes, because some things are in flux. Like the Avengers we go on, that's where time is in flux, and it can go either way, but we wind up getting to the same place eventually. But there are fixed points in the timeline where if I changed it, too much would change. And Pompeii is one of them. Everyone in Pompeii has to die. And then we get the further plot twist revealed that the Doctor is the reason that everybody in Pompeii died anyway. But he had to go to the same. Yeah. But it was to save the goddamn world, okay? But what I love about this scene, the Doctor is like committed to the bit. Like, there is no point where Donna keeps saying, we have to save everyone. And Doctor's like, I'm not doing that. I can't do that. And no amount of begging or crying from Donna is going to get him to save Pompeii. And to the point where like Donna's like sees this family that we've been following the whole episode, and she tells the Doctor like we have to save just one of them, and the Doctor's already like starting to like, no, I'm leaving. Like, if you're not getting on here, I'm leaving you, bitch. Come on, basically. And I love this scene though, because it highlights like how the world sees the Doctor. Because the family's begging for the Doctor, and the Doctor just leaves in the TARDIS. And Donna gets on the TARDIS. He's like, you have to save one. Just save one person. It can't be that big of a deal. Just save one person. The Doctor's like, fuck, okay. And he comes back, and there's just like this really great shot of when the family sees the TARDIS, the doors open, and there's a heavenly light behind the Doctor, and he just extends his hand out to them. It's like some like fucking biblical shit. I was like, oh my God, this is awesome. And he saves that one family, and they live a normal life, but we do know they start worshiping the Doctor. But there's no really ramifications to that. Remember that for when we get to the specials, though. But yeah, overall, but then you'll have some episodes that where the Doctor is seen as a god, or where the Doctor is made more human, like the episode where he's trapped on this space shuttle. That's to make a detour because they're trying to go to get there faster, and they get stuck. And the Doctor, up to this point, he's like, you know what? Let's just be like, there's like, it's a room of 6 people who are socially awkward with each other, but the Doctor's a very charming man, so he gets to know all 4 or 5 of them, and he gets to be all their friends. But when they get stuck, they become super fucking paranoid, and the adventure gets so dark that they nearly throw the Doctor out the airlock and get him killed, basically.
Oh, Lord.
Understanding, by the way. If they had just listened to him, he would have been fine. And he almost gets killed. And for the rest of the trip, the Doctor just doesn't want to talk to anybody. And when he gets out the ship, Donna just like, yo, what the fuck? Because she wasn't there. And she sees him, and he's like trying to hold it together. And Donna has to like give him a hug because he was just about to break. It's like, what's that? Oh God, I was scared. So I do like how the show balances the fact that the Doctor might be a god in some instances, but he is just a man. And then we get the season 4 finale, which you know, Russell T. Davies always loves to do 2 things in his stories. He likes to bring, at the end of every season, the Doctor fights a classic Doctor Who villain, and the stakes have to be bigger than they ever were before. And so in this season, the Daleks kidnap 27 planets, and they use them for their engine to basically Thanos snap races out of existence, basically.
Wait. Repeat that?
So basically, they use the power of 27 planets, to Thanos snap an entire race out of existence. So they can go to planet and just Thanos snap you, basically.
Okay.
I'm not making this up. Like, they disappear and mist and everything. It's like literally the Thanos snap. This came out in 2008, by the way. So
Okay.
But at the same time the show was going on, there are a bunch of other spin-off shows happening too, like Torchwood and the Sarah Jane Chronicles. And so this was kind of like their Avengers Infinity War in-game story, where all those shows crossed over with Doctor Who, basically. How I felt about this story, I liked part one. Part one was basically everyone trying to get the Doctor to Earth because, they never know where the Doctor is, and they always got to, when other shit happens. I think part two, my problem is the other cast feels so, like, dumb. Like, they had these backup plans in case the Doctor wasn't there, and Martha's plan was like, yeah, so Earth came up with this contingency in case the Doctor wasn't here and we got invaded by aliens, and we have nuclear bombs, nuclear missiles embedded into the core of the planet. And so if aliens take over too much of it, we just blow up the fucking planet and them too. And I'm like, yo, what the fuck? Yo, chill.
Wait, Jake. And this is the UK's plan, right?
This is like the world came together and agreed to this plan for some reason. I don't know what. This is very stupid. But I thought this was like really dumb. But even the Doctor said, yo, like, take that shit apart and never do that again. Jack Harkness, who also is, who by the way is a time agent from the future, who's in the past now. He lives there. He's also immortal. There's a great plot twist with him that starts from season 1 to season 3. But also, he also will fuck everything he sees, and I mean everything. Like, if you have a working reproductive organ, he will fuck you. So even him just saying hello to somebody is a flirt sometimes. But anyway, the Jack Harkness also has this other plan, which is also really stupid. I can't remember the specifics of it, but I remember being like, y'all have the dumbest plans. I'm just glad the Doctor's here because y'all plans are stupid as fuck. But we do get and also Rose Tyler Rose Tyler who got stranded in a different timeline comes back, and the Doctor and her get reunited. And I think this was cool, and then they ruined it because now I'm not going to get into it. Basically, Donna Paulson is the chosen one, low key. And so she accidentally makes a second Doctor Who. There's like a second Doctor Who now that has her personality and his personality. And that Doctor goes to live with Rose in the other timeline, which I thought was a terrible idea because it undid the emotional ending of season 2. Well, whatever. It was dumb. We'll never have to hear about it again. I don't think. Hopefully, it'll just be over there.
Hey, multiple people with the same title is a big thing nowadays. After all, audience. So,
yes, yeah. but it was stupid. I wasn't really much of a fan of it. I liked the idea that they got to reunite, but they have to separate again because, like, once again, like, the Doctor and Rose might be great for each other, but they're also toxic for each other. They're not. It wouldn't really work for Rose. Like, it would hurt Rose in the long run if they continued their relationship, even if they didn't realize it. But anyway, that was season 4. I thought that was great. But they so they knew that Matt Smith was going to replace David Tennant, but they were going to also transition showrunners, but they weren't ready for that yet. So but David Tennant also couldn't do another season. So they made 5 specials that released throughout the year. And these specials were going to end the story of David Tennant's Doctor. And so we had our first one, which was called The Next Doctor, which is a fake out episode where we met a guy who calls himself the Doctor. But it turns out he's not really the Doctor. He just thinks he's the Doctor, basically. But I do like how they play this up because because our Doctor, he sees this guy and he's like, oh, so you're me from the future. You're a different regeneration. So, like, tell me, how do I die? Like, just be real with me. How's it go? And the guy's like, I don't know what you're talking about, man. I don't know who you are. But you find out this dude actually had a very tragic backstory. But the Doctor helps him get his real memories back, so he doesn't believe he's a Doctor anymore. And also, Merry Christmas, the Doctor kills another man, or a woman, I should say. Actually liquefies her. But he gave her a chance. Okay? That's all that matters. Okay?
Aren't doctors supposed to be people you're supposed to put your life in, man?
Well, I mean, he saves the world. He saves the world. Okay, I don't know what you want. Like, he saves the world at the end of the day. But actually, this is the first time where I actually watched a Doctor Who Christmas special. I was like, oh, this actually feels somewhat like Christmas. I think my problem with the Christmas specials, and I really don't have a problem with it, to be honest. I think it's just funny. None of them feel like Christmas episodes. They all have really dark themes, and I never feel like coming together with my neighbor by the end of these. So, but for this Christmas, despite we also get some reveals of the Doctor's headspace. At this point, Donna can't be with the Doctor again. She has to get her memories erased because of her chosen one status, and we have to get rid of that. And so the Doctor's alone again. And so the fake Doctor, he's talking to our Doctor, and he's like, so yeah, I mean, like, I remember that I had companions. Where's your companions at? He's like, oh, I don't do companions anymore. And he's like, well, why not? He's like, well, you know, they move on and they do their own thing and they break my heart every time. So I just don't want to do it anymore.
Oh,
I was like, damn, that's
Right, baby.
so he just goes on and does his own thing. But the fake Doctor convinces the Doctor for the first time since he became the 10th Doctor, hey man, I'm not asking anymore. Please join me for Christmas dinner. And the Doctor goes like, you know what? I'll do it this time. And so he has his first Christmas dinner with somebody. I thought that was pretty nice. That was pretty nice. The next one, we get introduced to a cat burglar. And she was stealing something. And then she and the Doctor both are on a bus. They get stranded in another dimension or another planet, but they're separated by dimensional space. And this girl and the Doctor are really hitting it off, and you're thinking like, oh, she might be his companion by the end. But they do find some bond, and she realizes like, I don't really want to be a thief. I just like the thrill of adventure. It says you are the ultimate adventure. I want to be with you. And he's like, nah, I'm sorry. It's like I'm not looking for anything right now. I'm sorry. It's not you, it's me. Type shit. But then we get am I missing? I feel like I'm missing. But I don't think it was that important. Oh no. Oh my god, I'm so fucking dumb. We missed the most crucial one, the waters of Mars. Now, this is an example of the Doctor being a fucking crazy person when he has no one on his back. There is a place on Mars in the future. The British will make it there first. It's been prophesized. Don't argue with me. America, we're not doing it. All right. The British make it to Mars first. And they have a space base there. And the Doctor's there. He's just having fun. But he realizes that this is actually a fixed point in history. Usually when we say that, we're trying to avoid like the Doctor saying like, oh, he can't change like MLK getting shot. He can't change Pompeii. He can't do all that. But in this case, this is our first example of a future fixed point. Where like, we don't really know this story and we're learning it with the Doctor. He just knows that these people die and they inspire humanity later down the line. But they have to die first. And the Doctor knows they're gonna die, and it's a really creepy episode. Like it's a horror episode basically. The Doctor knows they're gonna die, and he wants to help them, but he knows he shouldn't, and he stays committed for the longest bit. And he even tells this lady straight up. This lady keeps questioning him. And he's like, I can't tell you everything, but I'm telling you, like, I know you're going to die today, and I know exactly how you're gonna do it. But I can't help you because the world benefits more from you dying here than you living. And she's like, okay. And she accepts it. She's like, okay, I'm going to die. Fine, whatever. And the Doctor walks home. Like eventually gets to the point where he can leave the adventure and walk home, but he can hear them dying on the radio. He hears all of them screaming and dying on all the ship. And he goes like, wait a minute. I don't have to let them die. Because he comes to this realization that, like, the Time Lords are dead. I'm the only Time Lord. Who the fuck is going to tell me I can't fix a fixed point? And so he saves what remains of the team and he takes them home. And then the lady who told that it was going to die, she's like, but you said I had to die. And he was like, yeah, I did. But that's before I realized that basically I'm a god. I can do whatever I want now. There's nobody here. He's like, what do you mean? Like, no, you told me my daughter is inspired by my death, and she becomes something great. You just changed her whole destiny. And he's like, yeah. And he's like, well, you should change it back. And he's like, tough. I'm not doing it. He's like, and he has this whole rant. He's like, I am the last of my kind. All the other Time Lords died. I thought I was a survivor, but really, I'm the victorious one. I am Time Lord victorious.
This is the part where he should say doctor's orders. Oh my God.
Well, she goes, you're crazy. And like, you shouldn't have all this power. And he's like, well, nobody can do anything to stop me. So tell him. And so she goes inside, and like the doctor's like, yeah, I did that shit. And then she just shoots herself in the head of her own carpet. To preserve the timeline, she basically kills herself. So her daughter is still inspired in some fucked up way. And the doctor's like, oh my God. Like that literally like breaks him. And so
imagine Uncle Ben just offing himself, audience. That sounds like what the equivalent is here. No?
Yeah, so he's like, basically it would be like if Uncle Ben missed the robber, and so he's like, fuck, I gotta die so Spider-Man could be a thing. All right. And so the timeline gets preserved, and the doctor's like horrified. And then we get to cut to the finale. We get a glimpse of the finale where there's this Ood who's in like an alien race that he and Donna saved. And the Ood's like, oh, by the way, doctor, just so you know, you're gonna die soon. He's like, what? And he's like, so he tries to run away from that. Then we go to the finale. And the finale is basically the master returns, but he's kind of half fucked up. And the doctor knows he's gonna die, but only if he hears 4 knocks. Something like that. If he hears that 4 times, he will die. But there is one alternative way he can get around it, but he's not sure how. And so he spends the whole episode fighting the master, and the master's play. I actually do like the master. And so he's kind of crazy. Like he's crazier than he's ever been before. But it's because he has this drum sound in his head, because when he was a kid, he looked into the time vortex, and the time vortex left this like drum imprint in his head that he can't get out of, and that's why he's so crazy. He's been listening to this for like 900 years. And so he's trying to understand what this thing is in his head. And basically, I'm going to try to simplify this. Again, there's a bunch of timely-wimey, wobbly woo. Basically, the doctor has to. Basically, his plan is he figures out that the sound is a frequency for the Time Lords. So, like, context quick. The Time Lords died when they had this war with the Daleks, and they sealed themselves in a time cage, and so that anything that happened in that time cage was just canon to that event. And the way it ended was the doctor set off a bomb that killed everybody in the time cage but him and the master, basically. And so the Time Lords know that's going to happen, and so they try to they're trying to use the master to get to the future to get out of the time cage and just like undo the universe and like, you know, rule and all this other shit. It doesn't really matter. It's just what's happening. The doctor's only help here is a guy named Wilfred. And this is Donna's dad. And we've seen him throughout the season. He's a really great guy. He's just an old man who just believes aliens exist, but he's sweet, he's kind, he's a nice guy. I really love this dude. All right. He's basically, okay. I do like how the master says it makes a joke about him being the doctor's father. And then when they have this scene together right here, the doctor admits, like, I really do wish you were my dad, actually, like Loki.
Oh.
Yeah, and this dude actually is a Doctor Who fanboy. Like the whole time, like ever since we first met him, he's always been like, he loves like the Doctor and what he represents and the hope that he brings to humanity and all the shit. And so eventually the Doctor has his final confrontation with the Master and the Time Lords, and he winds up saving the Master. And so the Master sacrifices himself to be the Time Lords, and the Doctor wins, and the Doctor saves the universe. And he's like, I did it, I'm fine. And then he hears 4 knocks. He's like, what? And he turns to the right, and the person who was responsible for it was Wilfred. He was the one who got him killed because Wilfred was trapped in a nuclear box. And we've seen this before. There's actually earlier in the series, but he's trapped in this box. His tape because he wanted to be a part of the action. So he got trapped in this box that has that's connected to the nuclear generator in the room, and the only way to fix it is to press a button, but if he does that, he will kill himself. And so the Doctor and him have to trade places if Wilfred's going to live. And I like this scene because basically the Doctor knows that, like, I mean, he's going to regenerate, but as far as the doctors are concerned, regeneration is death. Regeneration is you die and another person with all your memories, but his own personality lives on. So David Tennant's going to die here, basically. And I love, instead of it being a heroic death, he's like venting at this old man. Like, he's so mad right now. He basically tells you, he's basically like, oh, it just had to be you. It had to be you. You of all people. You're not even important. I'm important. He's like, I could be so much more. I could do so much more, but I have to die because of you. I was so sad. And he was like, it's not fair. And then he goes like, but I'm too old, and this is the right thing to do. And so he and I like Wilfred too, because this is basically his hero telling him that it's basically him hearing that his hero has to die for him. And Wilfred says, like, he says, like, very simply, I mean, it's okay. I've lived long enough. You can let me live. He's like, no, I gotta save you. I'm sorry. It's just fine. And the Doctor gives up his life for Wilfred, but the radiation takes longer. Then it takes a little longer to kill him, so he has enough time to say goodbye to all his friends and travel through time to say goodbye one last time. And he even goes back in time to before he met Rose, and tells her, "Hey, just so you know, like this, it's gonna be a great year because this is the year that she meets the Eccleston, the Doctor that she met, basically." Yeah. And then he gets to the TARDIS one last time, and he's like struggling to get there. Like, he's like almost crawling, and he's about to regenerate. And his last words before his death was like, I don't want to die. Then he just dies. I was like, this is so sad.
No.
And but then he becomes Matt Smith, unfortunately. And that's how the series ends. I really loved Russell T Davis's era of Doctor Who. I thought it was a really good mix of like seeing it was like a modern day mythology almost, really. Like, again, it was like basically seeing a god and a god who's also like a human and all that. It's the perfect parts of like a Greek myth, basically. All in one sci-fi package. I highly recommend watching this season or watching this series. And I don't know if I like Matt Smith. I probably is good, well written. I just won't like his face, but yeah. Russell T Davis's Doctor Who, type shit. I highly recommend it.
Yeah, cool.
Why you just ugly ass picture?
It was this is for the specials. This was really the season 4 picture. So
gotcha. But alright then. Jake, I had a lot of fun reviewing season 4 of Doctor Who, audience. So with that, let's move on to the next topic of the night. Alright, so Paul Walker Hauser.
Picture you could have picked?
Hey, that was on the article, which. So, okay, so Paul Stingray from Cobra Kai.
I know. I asked Jake to recognize him.
Oh, okay.
You just ruined it.
Oh. Well, Jake, you want to take a guess anyway?
It's Stingray from Cobra Kai.
Okay. But anyway, so yeah, Paul Walter Hauser cast as Moleman. Now, this actually was actually from that Fantastic Four book that actually came out this past week. So, let me bring up that comic.
Yeah, I told you Moleman was probably going to be in the cast to be in the movie. I'm telling you, since they're skipping 4 years, they're most likely going to start off with a montage of them being heroes for the first 4 years.
Yep, and I hope
Moleman is going to be something.
Yeah. And I hope this Moleman it sticks on with the MCU. I still say this to this day, audience. Moleman should have been the first villain the Fantastic Four faced.
You haven't even seen the movie yet. Can't say that.
Yeah, but like, where do you go after Galactus, Austin?
You go to a new universe. That's the whole point.
Okay, but yeah. Anyway, regardless, like, hey, I got my Moleman full out of this, so glad to see we'll see him get some respect. And as far as the casting goes, yeah, I mean, looks like somebody who would be away from the sunlight for a long period of time,
It's like casting a penguin, bro. You gotta get a fat guy with a pointy nose, okay?
That is true. I mean, I would have been okay if they casted what's his name, the guy from Hangover, the guy who also played Jumbo in that Lilo and Stitch movie.
Oh, he was good.
Yeah, he
I
would
don't
have
know
been
who
good
plays that.
too. From Hangover.
Oh, Zach Galifianakis?
Yeah, him. I think he could have
Oh,
played a good one. I mean, it's either that
nah,
or
that dude's too comedic to play the hurt Moleman.
okay, either that or Jack Black, because you know dang well they're gonna have a
Let's
musical
move on.
number if Jack. But anyway, so yeah, at least we're giving some respect to a minor Fantastic Four villain audience, you
Are you
know.
gonna
So
review this book tomorrow?
nah, I didn't buy. I didn't read this book. I mean, I just saw the article confirming that his casting was
You're like,
made.
yes, they doing Moleman. I'm not gonna read the book. Now he just
I- I'll support it by buying a movie ticket, Austin. Think of it that way, you know?
Yeah, I'm too poor for that right now.
Gotcha. So anyway, yeah, that's really it for this topic, audience. So, you know, any final thoughts on this before we move on?
no.
Okay, gotcha. So anyway, let's move on, audience. Austin, you want to announce this one?
No. Go, Jake.
The Proud
Jake.
Family louder and prouder. I watched the trailer. I still don't like it's a fine trailer. It's just like it doesn't. I don't know if they addressed any of the issues season 2 had. Like it doesn't tell me that they fixed any problems.
If anything, it kind of seems like they're going to more focus on that route. Like, audience, I didn't watch season 2, mainly because when it came to season 1, I always had that issue, the fact that you basically said this is a year after the original Pratt family ended, which was the early 2000s. Yet they reference pop culture, modern pop culture stars and topics of today. So I'm like, wait, how does that make sense? Lizzo, how is she a thing in the early 2000s? You know, that was just
Could
weird.
have been Missy Elliott.
It was a crazy year. Okay, you guys said
I
that
guess.
crazy years. Okay.
To put this in retrospective, audience, like back in the early 2000s, it was amazing just to have a flip phone that has a camera in it. You know, it was a stepping stone period. All right. So yeah, I wasn't really too impressed by the first season, so I didn't even give the second season a chance. But yeah, I am aware as to what topics they went through on season 2, and I just gotta say I'm kind of glad I didn't see season 2. But based on this teaser, I feel like it's just going to elaborate on that. I mean,
Just,
let,
just to be
let,
clear,
let,
the topics were not the issue. It was just the way they talked about it. It was just-
like let me
They
put
did
let
the
me put
thing
you
that
this.
made autism a superpower again. But this time
Yeah.
it was like the full like X-Men shit.
Hmm. Oh yeah, I remember Jake talking about that one. Yeah, stuff like that I can see being like a really touchy, emotional subject.
And don't forget that
Here.
colorism episode.
Oh yeah, it's funny you should mention that because based on the teaser, it looks like they're going to further delve into that. You see like a scene where apparently there's going to be some moments between Trudy and Dejanay, and like Dejanay is like hugging Trudy, saying, "You're like the fairy godmother, but black." Like,
that was
Yeah,
because it was helping.
that's not colorism. That just
I
being
think it
bad
was just
with
because
children.
she only did that because she was helping her through like it seemed like she was helping her through some like self identity issues with her skin color or something like that, which I think is fine.
okay.
I think my yeah, like I said, there's nothing in the trailer that makes me raise an eyebrow. Like it doesn't seem as trying too hard to say something as the other
Hmm.
one does. I mean, obviously they tease there will be episodes that are going to say stuff.
Hmm.
It seems more like I said, it seems back to basics. But my problem is like I don't even like that cast. I don't like Penny's friends, which
Yeah.
they were apparently terrible in the original. I just don't remember.
Upon further character analysis, audience, you look back at Penny's friends. Yeah, they're all pretty terrible.
I don't like Penny's friends. I don't remember thinking the Proud Family was that like themselves was that interesting.
This show doubled down on treating the dad worse.
Hmm.
So unlike how in the original show, his wife would at least support him. The dad in this
Mhm.
one didn't have anybody. Everyone shitted on him the whole show, both
which is
seasons.
which is kind of what made the finale a little bit more meaningful, because there was a moment where, like, Oscar Proud basically manned up and stood up against his mother, saying like, "Hey, Sugar Mom, for once, can you show me some respect and hand me over your big old bridges?" And like, Sugar Mama and Trudy were like, "Oh wow, yeah, you manned up, Oscar." There, you know. But as is pointed out, like, they kind of threw all that and kind of treat Oscar even worse now,
Yeah,
which is sad. Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not. They're implying that Oscar still has a problem with her fucking boyfriend, but I could have sworn that he got over that shit, or at least he wasn't as in her face about it anymore. So I don't.
Yeah, they're still going the overprotective dad route with this,
I'm surprised their
apparently.
boyfriend is still dating her after the colorism episode.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was something, audience. Although I will say this, I will watch one episode of the season, but it's going to be the one with Al Roker, because you see like the list of special guests, and you did see that Al Roker's name is on it, so hoping is good. As far as all the other celebrity guest cameos that are going to be in here, I honestly don't know any of them. Yeah, it's
Yeah, they're not a
generational
bunch
gap.
of, I'm assuming all black or biracial celebrities, but which is fine
But,
for people. It doesn't really matter because, like, if you know them, that's good for you. If you don't, it doesn't matter.
yeah, the ones I recall from seeing that list, it's going to be Al Roker, definitely, Cedric the Entertainer. Everybody else, I don't know. So sorry.
But yeah, shout out to the people who
So
do.
a bunch of older black celebrities that no kid watching the show knows. Okay.
Well, no, honestly, those are the ones I know. But there's a whole bunch of lists that I'm
No, I know.
people
But I'm
that.
saying, like, if you're doing this to bring more kids to watch the show, they don't know these
Mhm.
people.
Yep. I guess that'll work better in their favor, because whoever they're bringing in, clearly they might be more familiar with a younger demographic, a modern demographic, So, yeah.
That was the target demographic.
Of the early 2000s, which.
My point still stands.
Yep. So, all right, then. Anybody gonna watch this season?
I haven't
No.
even watched any
No,
of the Proud Family. I haven't watched any of it.
Because, like I said, the problem isn't the trailer. The trailer looks fine. It looks like it could be good. It's just that, like, I don't know. It doesn't really address anything. I don't know if they address anything. It's hard to tell. Like, my problem is just the character. It's the fundamental aspects of the show that just don't work to me. So I would need to see, like, clips or like before I would be like, I would even try the show, and then I have to be interested in the show again, which I'm not. So, like,
Okay. One thing I just hope when it comes to the Al Roker episode, they just go back to him being basically Mr. Mixopiddleiac, Because when we saw him in Ladder of Prouder, he was basically the devil in that episode, audience, So, yeah. All right, then. Any final thoughts on this before we move on, guys?
Not really.
I'm not proud
No.
of what happened today.
I didn't think the show should have got a season 3.
I didn't think it was going to get a season 3. I thought.
I didn't think it was either. I remember the reviews being mixed, and that cover episode broke a lot of people. That's all I remember.
Yeah. All right. Anyway, I guess with that, let's move on.
I'm sorry. One last thing. I'm sorry. I did want to say, I do want to bring this up. This show is a good example of, like, why when people say, "Oh, just let the director and creatives do whatever they want." Sometimes people work better with limitations. I know I said this in the last time we talked about this, but I just want to remind people, because people make it sound like if you just give the creative all the freedom in the world, it'll be the best product ever. That is not. Sometimes
Red was great.
Sometimes when you have to tiptoe around the thing you want to say, you get more creative with how you say it. It becomes a better product.
To bring up an example, audience, remember Naruto, the original plan for the Hokage was going to be a dog. Yeah. Until editors came in and said, nah, let's not do that.
Make it a fox.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
A dog.
Yeah,
Sometimes
you know the president in Dragon Ball Z is a dog, right? Like that's all it is.
Toriyama got rid of that.
Well, no, that's a dog humanoid, Austin, but the way that the creator of Naruto made it out to be is like it was going to be an actual dog.
Yeah, we
Well,
have
I mean,
ninja dogs though. Like I don't mind
It's just
if the
dogs.
dog can talk in a fight. I don't give a fuck if it being Hokage.
or like I remember, even Avatar, like the bending was a great way to get around having to do hand-to-hand combat because that was a no-no on the Nickelodeon channel. So that's why they came up with the idea of like bending and stuff. And so like they're just like a
They
lot
say
of
that, but literally every other show has fighting in it.
yeah, I know. I know. I thought it was weird too, but I don't know what their weird thing was. My point is like sometimes like you find creative solutions when your hands are tied behind your back. That's all.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds like Proud Family could use it. I don't know. Maybe they'll go listen. I don't know.
Gotcha. But all right then. I guess with that, we can move on to the next one.
Okay,
Austin, do you want to do the
finish
honors?
episode, guys. I finished.
Yay! Give a round of applause for which audience?
Hey, I finished it before we even when we were still doing the pre-ramble. Leave me alone.
Gotcha.
Your boy was
Austin, do you
hustling.
want? Gotcha. Austin, do you want to do the honors of announcing this topic?
Go ahead, Witch.
We're talking about Ironheart. Thoughts on it?
Oh, you asking me?
Yes. Who else would I be talking to?
I thought you were about to give your thoughts. It's all right.
I mean,
I
It's not a bad show.
I
The
like
problem,
what talking about.
it's not a bad show. The problem,
It's better
the
than
show
other
is
shows.
basically the tragedy of Riri Williams. People, if you come here expecting like a regular hero show, you're not going to get that. It's really the downfall of Riri in a sense.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that works the best for this.
She's in her like darker era right now, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. The down on the luck era is what I'm assuming, right?
For the most part, yeah.
Yep.
No,
So.
she makes a way to bounce back and just she can't let go of the past, which is the theme of the season.
Mm-hmm.
And that ends up her making a bad situation.
She made several bad decisions.
Mm-hmm.
Some
Big
of them
question.
she was able to recover from, others not so much.
Okay, here's $1 million question. How did the finale go?
It was fine.
Okay.
You want to let's just do the main 4 characters, which and then we can move on to something else.
I mean, we
So
can do
Riri, Ezekiel, Natalie, the Hood, and the thing at the end.
Yeah.
So what do you think about Riri?
I mean, I like her. I liked her in Wakanda Forever, so I might be a little biased. I like seeing her like story progress. It's kind of hard to explain because it's still pretty fresh in my mind, but at the same time, yeah. I liked her character. She went through a very interesting character arc, I guess you could say. Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't like her in Wakanda.
We actually get into spoilers.
I didn't like her in Wakanda Forever, but she was fine in the show.
I think it's because she was the main focus. I think that might have been the thing.
A lot of her problems mainly come from I won't say she had dialogue problems to a degree. That's about it. Character wise, I think she did great.
It's
hard to like
time for herself.
cover everything. We'll get into other stuff in spoilers. What do you think about Ezekiel Stain, the son of Obadiah?
He was a little bitch.
That's rude.
He was a little bitch.
This might be spoilers. It don't really matter. They turned this dude into the guy from Infamous for some reason. They give him a power suit.
No, he didn't get a power suit. He got
I know. I'm saying they turned him and they turned him to the guy from Infamous instead of giving him a power suit.
Do you think that was done in an effort to cut costs?
Probably, but like his whole thing is a power suit. It's literally all Iron Man related people.
Mm-hmm. So you're telling me that they didn't give him a suit, right?
No, he got enhancements basically inside his body so he can shoot. Like he used to play the game Infamous. He's literally Cole McGrath.
Okay.
He shoots lightning. He does stuff with electricity. That's it.
Okay. So basically a cheaper effect budget as opposed to giving him a full suit of armor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He lost because he got kicked in the nuts and it helped him. It let him reset.
It was
Reset
a
his
bit more
thing.
than that, but
Oh
Riri
my
did
God.
help him out a little bit afterwards.
Yeah. So because Tony covered it up. So to the world, Obadiah Stane's still a good guy. He didn't become a mass murderer and shit.
Mhm.
All Ezekiel knew the truth though.
Well, he
So
went
he was
by
trying to.
Joe. He literally went when we first meet him. He went by Joe, and then we find out that he is Ezekiel.
Yeah, he tried to hide away from that legacy and really dragged him into it. And you see him fall deeper and deeper into the powers. He made him stand up for himself. It was a lot. But I
Okay.
liked his
But he
character
tried
arc until the end.
blackmailing Riri into helping him out, which
Don't say that like she didn't blackmail him into helping her out.
I mean they blackmailed each other. It's fine.
Oh wow.
Mutual blackmailing.
But
You're not wrong.
I feel I still would have did the suit with him. Give him actual like turn him to basically to a cyborg. I don't think was the best choice.
Hmm.
But it's all right. What do you think about the Hood Witch?
I liked him. I liked seeing his descent into.
I didn't like his power change.
I haven't read
what's
enough
his
Hood
power change?
comics to actually determine how bad he
Basically,
got fucked over.
well, the power wise, all they did was instead of teleporting, they made him go invisible for some reason.
I thought he could teleport.
No, he was going invisible and walking.
Oh, okay. No, never mind.
Oh.
I forgot
Sounds
he could.
even
I
lame.
remember he could teleport. I remember the main book that I read with him in it was Dead Avengers because it had Marvel in it.
Yeah.
I remember he was in there. I don't remember much else. It's been a while, but
It's
I do plan on reading Dark Reign, the Hood though. That is on my list. I did start that. So I will get back to you when I actually read these comics. I've been
this main
prioritizing
thing.
a lot of things right
Go
now.
ahead.
I've been
Go ahead.
prioritizing a lot of things, but I promise you I will get to it when I get to it.
Yep.
His main thing that
I liked his descent
Okay, awesome.
into madness as the Hood was controlling more and more and more of them.
Gotcha.
that's why I was iffy about his main his main power is teleporting, basically, but the Hood does give him the power to summon demons and have a demon form. But
Yeah.
usually he's in control. Here he lost control. He was basically being used to turn into a demon if he couldn't handle the power by a certain devil lord man.
Yeah.
They think it's Dormammu the whole time, which is very funny.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's like,
People don't know in the comics it was
Dormammu
Dormammu.
and
Hey, who
Dormammu
brings
have come to bargain.
question? Who brings up Dormammu?
Zelma.
Zelma from Doctor Strange comics.
Wait, she was in Ironheart?
Yeah,
Yeah,
she helped out Riri with her.
Basically, one of Riri's mom's friends is a witch. Her daughter is Zelma. And the Zelma actor revealed that her backstory and all that already happened. So she already knows Doctor Strange.
You would recognize her.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so she already knows Doctor Strange. People don't know in the comics Zelma is Doctor Strange's assistant for 4 years now, 5 years now. It's been up since 2016 probably, I think.
For a while, yeah.
Cause she was there when Loki was Sorcerer
his
Supreme.
assistant when I was first getting into comics.
She was there when Loki was Sorcerer Supreme. So they got to be at least 2016.
Okay.
At least.
The reason she was here, Cryptic, because remember originally we were gonna get Doctor Strange Academy, Wong's Strange Academy.
Wow.
Was Sorcerer Supreme, and then that show got pre-canceled.
Dude, I don't even recall that show being greenlit. To be honest,
it wasn't a. It was a. That was the whole reason Wong was in She-Hulk, and then she was supposed to be here, and then the post-credit scene was supposed to be him getting her originally.
Okay. Huh.
But it doesn't matter. She's not important to the story, but she's just here.
Yeah.
She helps Riri understand. Oh, there's magical powers connected to the Hood, all of that stuff. She also helps Riri get some magic to fight the Hood. That's how she stops the Hood going invisible.
Yeah,
But
it was pretty cool.
I liked the Hood to a degree. I did like how he started unraveling because his friend died. That's usually how it happens. I feel like if his friend didn't die, he probably still had enough wherewithal to hold on to the power in the end. But we talked about that last review.
Well, we'll get there when we get there.
But
what do you think about the supporting cast, like the Hood's little gang?
I like them because I know who some of these people are in comics. I didn't like them that much compared to the comic counterpart, but I didn't mind them in the show. They weren't like annoying or anything.
Which, hey, that a win is a win. A win is a win.
Yeah, they're not one moment where they pissed me off. The only one that kind of made me mad at first was Clown. Like you know, the guy got a magical hood. Why are you playing around with it? Okay, but he won me back over with the Ezekiel stuff in the end.
Yeah.
You know,
the only one character I didn't like was Natalie.
Yeah.
The one thing I didn't like about that little crew was that once they got fired, spoiler alert, we just don't see them ever again. I was kind of hoping we would have seen them in the final.
Yeah, that didn't really make sense to me story-wise.
Like, you would think that they would try to go out and find Riri and then be like, hey, we can help out. Like, sorry about
trying to because Clown knows she's not dead. Everyone else thinks she's dead. So it's like, why didn't y'all go do that? It was stupid.
Clown knows she ain't dead. You saw her run away.
Yeah, Clown knew she lived. No one, the other ones didn't at the time.
I don't know. There's only so much we can do. We're not in the right.
The only person I didn't like is Natalie because the AI. While the AI, I understand the AI has the Riri's version of memories of the two. The AI also still knows she's the AI, but she refused to accept that she's not the girl. And to a degree, that was getting annoying in some parts. And if you put yourself in Riri's shoes, I can see why they drove her insane. Because that would have killed me too.
All right.
Yeah, now that I think about it, that post-credit scene kind of made sense, but at the same time, I'm like, I don't know.
That AI made it Riri incapable of letting this situation go. But she was already obsessed with it the moment she got home.
No.
And like, so let's just go on to the final episode.
Yeah. Big fight.
So
I mean, we already started talking about it, so.
Yeah, we started spoiling it. It doesn't matter. The Hood demon, it's not Dormammu, it's Mephisto.
And I can't believe it took us until this fucking show to give us Mephisto.
Of all the projects,
it's played by the actor who played Borat, by the way.
That's wild, dude. That's fucking wild.
Oh my god!
He does a good job.
Did you like him better here or in Borat?
What's his
I
name?
like him better here. I'm not really a Borat fan.
Me neither. Apparently, a lot of people from Kazakhstan don't actually like that movie, and it's like an insult.
I still remember watching that movie when it came out. You know.
Yeah, a lot of people from Kazakhstan say it's offensive as hell to their culture.
Remember when the guy accepted his award for Borat? He literally thanked everybody who didn't sue him because there were a lot of lawsuits apparently for Borat.
I mean, I get it.
Yep.
But you get to see Mephisto's face in a reflection of the spoon. You see the reflection of the spoon.
I wasn't paying too much attention to that.
Yeah, and there's a scene after he reveals himself, he stirs the coffee, and you see the red face and the devilish smile, and he looks okay. It's not bad, but this Mephisto is stronger than Dormammu. Like he's laughing at the idea of Dormammu. Apparently, people don't know Dormammu is like above Mephisto in the comics.
In the comics?
No.
He's just a bitch.
In comics, when it comes to like the other universe, well, I won't say dimension stuff, it's Shurmur-Gorath and the Dark Ones, Dormammu, and then Mephisto in them.
I mean, and keep in mind, Mephisto's not even the only like Lord of Hell, quote unquote. Like there are like several.
He's just the one who took the name of the devil because Lucifer can't show up on Earth.
Yeah.
People don't know the actual devil is a guy named Lucifer. He's the father of Damon Hellstrom and Satana.
Which they show up in the mangaverse, by the way. And oh my god, her design was god awful.
Okay, I do see that picture of Mephisto and that spoon over the coffee. So yeah, it's red.
Yeah, you can get a clear video picture in the video, but it's not bad.
Mm-hmm.
But basically, he tricked. I want to say he tricked Riri. She already knows that he makes deals and the deals go bad because she saw the hood situation. And he
Yeah.
just straight up tells her, "I want something from you, and I'll give you something for it." And she wants Natalie to come back to life. If people don't know, this is not one of Fisto's powers. So if he brought her back to life for real, we might see. If this show did get a season 2, he'll probably have to fight Lady Death or something because that's not something he usually do. So
Mm-hmm.
I think he just brought a demon back who looks like her, who's gonna fake be her.
Huh.
But this show's not getting a season 2, so I guess it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
That's why I was
It's
so surprised
more.
the show ended on a cliffhanger.
Gotta
Oh yeah,
remember this.
the post
We
credit
got.
scene. Did you mention that post credit scene?
Oh, I
With the
gotta
hood
mention.
showing back up, no.
Yeah, I
Well, no.
gotta mention.
Basically, the post credit scene was basically the hood going up to Zelma's place of work and was like, "Hey, do you want to like work together? I kind of need some more supreme type of magic, if you catch my drift." And so it basically just ends up off with her being like thinking about it. You know how it be.
Yeah.
It's
You gotta
Actually,
basically
not
remember
in a
all the.
bad group. I actually would like to see that in the comics.
Mm-hmm.
a
Yeah.
a magical comic book team.
They're not a team, but seeing those two how they deal with each other could be interesting, just like a issue or something.
Mm-hmm.
They're so different in the comics. It would be kind of funny.
Yeah.
I mean, we haven't really seen the hood too many times in comics, so I think like
Yeah, his last time was Spider Man. I know his last time was Wheel Ghost Rider, I think.
Yeah. He was the one that hired Black Cat to work for him. Like that was the famous issue where Mary Jane was also wearing a Black Cat costume audience. So yeah.
at least
Um.
he's still getting work
Uh,
every once in a while.
The problem is that he was a crime boss, and New York has too many of them. So anytime people want to do one, they don't think about the hood. They think about like Hammerhead, Kingpin, and stuff.
to be fair, that's kind of something that's relevant even in the comics. I know Red Hood has always been the character that wants to be like the made man, like one of the top heads of the crime world in the cities, But he's never had a peak audience.
You just need to switch villains, bro.
He just
Hmm.
he just kind of
I mean,
shows
switch
up when
heroes.
needed.
Yeah. You know who I want to see Hood go up against? Punisher. Wait, question. Does it have his guns in this
He does
finale?
guns.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, he has guns.
The
Okay.
magic allows him to bend the bullets and shit like it's wanted or something.
Gotcha. Okay, even more credence to go up against the Punisher. That would be cool.
Yeah, don't worry, he has guns.
Mhm.
They didn't take that away.
I'd rather him go against some low level magic users. I want Hood to go more down the magical route. He can be stronger, but make
Mhm.
deals with Loki or something. I don't know.
Gotcha.
I think he could be interesting if
Right.
he became a bigger threat. He just needs a different hero to fight.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Oh, also,
I think it's a solid show.
That was pretty good. Like I said, I trust Ryan
Do you think?
Coogler, even though he was only
Yeah.
producing it. He wasn't actually the director of it.
Okay. Here's a question for you guys. I know a lot of people had a very negative reception to Riri just based on her character as a whole, right? Even from the comics, isn't that? Do you think this show would change anybody's mind?
Probably.
If you already go in hating her, then you're already just gonna do what the people are doing now, where they're just taking stuff you said out of context and
Hmm.
looking for the worst of her anyway. So I don't doubt it. Like
Okay.
the Iron Man line. When she said that, she literally says no hate to Iron Man after, but people act like she's like spitting in Tony's face. What
Hmm.
she means is even Tony, even as he is, still needs money and resources to make the Iron Man suits. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
He made the first one out of scraps and it fell apart. And you notice when he got home, he was able to improve it, made a Mark III and all the other stuff. They had the
Hmm.
resources and money to do so. That's all she was saying.
Hmm.
And people act like she's saying,
People
"Oh,
just
Tony
have
Stark is
context
useless
because they
without
don't
money."
want women of
They're like,
color.
no. Like we talked about it in the last review. Her biggest problem is that, unlike Tony, who will prioritize getting the money first and then building a suit, she's so
Yeah.
focused on the end game that she doesn't see the way to the end game, and that's how she ends up
Hmm.
becoming a criminal. He took the easy way because he only sees the ending. He read to Tony, who would realistically, be like, "Oh, I need money because I don't like not being rich." So,
Gotcha.
but I think this show does a solid thing for her. I think most of her reactions to situations, to Natalie, to tragedy and stuff is realistic. Only problem with that, only thing I disagree with was how Black Panther ties into this because Wakanda basically gave her nothing, which is kind of fucked up. But
At the same time, I'm glad they didn't get too involved because then it would have kind of just like hindered her story.
I didn't want them to get too involved, but like she couldn't even keep her suit from there, none of that stuff. So it was like
her suit. I do have a slight nitpick. I wish it was pink.
To be fair, she didn't get her pink suit for a while, so I didn't mind them saving that for like season 2.
And also keep in mind, audience, if they ever do give her pink color, keep in mind they're going to want to darken it up. Hey, that's the MCU trend, bright color. They don't do bright colors,
Fine. People like dark pink.
Pink.
But what I'm saying was, in Black Panther 2, she almost gets murdered. A woman died for it on the other crazy stuff, but that didn't trigger her PTSD for her friends dying. Her friend, her uncle, like her stepdad dying. Because this show makes it feel like it's a crippling thing for her. Like she can't function when she thinks about this stuff. So the fact that another woman died for her, and then like that, I feel like would have triggered it. I just think it's one of those moments where they didn't think about her backstory when doing this movie.
Gotcha. So, all right then.
I liked it though.
Any fun?
So that's where it is. I gave it like a 7 or 8 out of 10. It's pretty good.
It's pretty good. Better than other shows we've watched.
Yeah. I liked it more than any of the shows we considered bad.
I would not consider this show bad though.
Gotcha. But anyway, I guess with that, we should probably move on to the next topic, guys. So, audience, we're done the media news. Now we're going on to the comic news. Austin, you want to do the honors of this?
Finally, I'll do one for you. Just leave me alone. Spider-Gwen says, fuck continuity. She's going to be the 616 Gwen Stacy now. That's not even a joke. She literally rewrote all reality so she can be 616 Gwen Stacy. The problem is, this should fuck up everything.
It definitely should.
Entire events should change.
What?
Entire events of the past should change.
If she is 616 Gwen Stacy now, she never died. Does that mean Peter and her never dated? Let it change. Peter's whole character history should be fucked up right now.
Man, I just kind of find this a little bit coincidental that, like, at the same time, this big monumental moment happened in Spider-Gwen. We have that Gwenpool comic out there that's kind of making, the 616 Gwen.
Oh yeah, that
horrible.
Well, no. To be fair,
to be fair, yep.
No, because I don't think that's 616 Gwen. To be fair, the only reason this happened at the same time because they kept putting this book off. They announced she was coming to 616 like 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah, because like my theory was like, okay, so are they just going to try villainizing 616 Gwen Stacy in the Gwenpool book, so that when they bring in Spider-Gwen, she's gonna be more, I don't know, positively receptive or something like that. Yeah, I mean, it was just a theory.
Like Peter says in the Gwenpool book, he doesn't think she's Gwen because anytime Gwen ever came back, we've seen how she acted. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This is the same chick who came back as a clone, and me was like, damn, I gotta help Peter save the day.
Gotta sacrifice myself for Peter.
If anything, I'll say Gwen Stacy's biggest problem that anytime she's been revived, she acted more like Mary Jane than Gwen Stacy. But
do people even remember how to write Gwen Stacy from the originals where she was from?
Oh, they know. She's just one guilt trip. She's a giant guilt trip, audience. You
gotta remember, Jake. After her death, the only other
Hello?
Austin?
Pepper's
Oh, we lost Austin. Okay, so man, I remember when we heard about this book happening because this happened in the events of Spider-Gwen's book where she was supposed to have a team up with Loki in outer space. What's that ring in? Oh, okay. But yeah, she was supposed to have a team up with Loki in outer space. And as bizarre as that sounds, compared to the other stories we were having with Spider Gwen, that kind of felt like a mellowed out story. Because remember, audience, Marvel decided let's make a Gwen version of all the superheroes. Okay, now let's make a Gwen
With
version of all
awful
the.
red land covers too.
Well, they did the same thing on
Yeah.
Miles.
Yeah. But then they also said, wait, did they do it with Miles
Remember, we
exactly?
had the What If Miles series too, where he was becoming
Oh,
everyone's
yeah.
hero.
You was stole.
Oh,
You was stole.
by,
Remember, we had
by,
Racist
Odin,
Thor.
by Odin's Fade. I still
Yeah.
have that. I still have that comic on audience. You know, you never know, man, when something could be big in the future. You know, so um, but yeah, her going on a space adventure of Loki, that just felt like such a mellowed out event compared to
This
everything
is
else she was
also
doing.
after she joined the TVA for no reason.
I don't
Oh,
understand.
there's that too.
What's wrong with just making her a Spider-Man character and just like future trunksing the shit? Where it's like, I only come over here when like I need to, and then it's like,
Because no casual reader wants to read about her shitty ass universe.
yeah, but no one wants to read about it. So just like force her in here. It's like I would rather you just have her be the character that comes over sometimes and then she leaves, and then we just never have to talk about that again.
Dude, somebody up there in Marvel editorial has to really love Spider Gwen. That same thing with like
No,
comic
it's because while she doesn't sell comics and stuff, she sells toys, and because she's still going to be in the movie,
Yep.
they want to keep her popularity up as much as possible, whether she's selling or not.
Wow. Well, this is what we get, audience.
Yeah.
But it is what
like
it
I said,
is. Like, you know,
just think about how many Peter Parker events have changed. If she didn't die, the Green Goblin, Peter should not hate Norman at all. Like the whole thing should change. The whole dynamic should change.
Oh, and let's also not forget, audience, it's not just Gwen Stacy that's brought back; it's her dad too.
How did they break up?
Yeah.
How did they break up to begin with? Because she just died. So
to be fair, unless you want to make Peter a pedophile, I don't think you can say they dated at all.
Oh boy.
She has the same age. They didn't fix that.
No, she would be young. She'll be her age. So she was just in college. She was 19 a few years ago.
Marlo, so.
And Peter's like 24, 25, 26. Between that area, he's like, that's not a good look.
No.
High school love with a child. It's crazy.
Okay, Scott, pop off.
And then you had the Miles stuff.
Yeah, where is that?
People don't know in the comics when they got together, Miles was underage, and they just act like he wasn't. Even though he was in his second year of high school, she was in college. Everything that Peter did, so he dated Gwen Stacy. That was when he was only fighting Peter villains and stuff. It was like a terrible time to be a Miles fan.
Isn't Peter Parker part of her motivation too? Like he died and shit.
Huh?
Isn't Peter Parker part of her motivation too? Like her version died and shit, right?
Yeah, but that Peter didn't have a close relationship. He was the kind of nerd she kind of knew, and then they became a little bit friends, and he died. Well, he turned to the Lizard, and she felt guilty that she got him killed.
Right.
Wow.
So is she friends with Kirk Connors, and then you got
he's like Kirk Connors didn't exist. Peter's the Lizard.
Yeah.
No, but I'm saying like now that she's in the 616, like how does that translate?
It just started. To be fair, I think she'll hate Kirk Connors because remember, this ain't dude who ate his kid and then brought him back as lizard clones.
Oh yeah. That lizard family is still in Marvel, audience, you know. So
yeah.
But
who knows what his new history is? Unless they make an event about it, it won't matter. That none of the changes is probably going to matter. Because we know this doesn't affect the current Spider-Man book. Miles hasn't brought it up.
Yeah.
There's no event announced, so I doubt the changes are going to be as drastic as they should be.
Yeah.
Well, like I said, I have became you. I rewrite your history, but somehow it doesn't affect anything.
Well, we're going to have to see where this
But
goes,
we should
audience.
see a change in Peter. How like Black Cat changed just from not remembering that Peter Parker was Spider-Man.
Yeah, that is true. Wait a minute.
But
So let me get this straight. Let me try clarifying this. So now that Spider-Gwen is part of the 616 canon, does that mean the 616 Gwen never existed at all?
that's what it seems like.
Huh.
That's what I'm saying. It changes regardless of how they did it, how they handle it. The way they set it up should change everything.
Wait, why does Spider-Man want to move here anyway?
There was some.
Eh?
It was some.
It was
Yeah.
because of a multi-dimensional scholarship program that apparently Tony Stark has.
No. That was long ago. But
Yeah,
now it's
but
like
not,
her identity got exposed. Like all this other crazy shit kept happening.
okay.
And
Now I remember. Now I remember. It was because in Spider Gwen's universe, everybody knows that Gwen Stacy was Spider Gwen, so she just wanted to go to an Earth where nobody knew she was Spider Gwen, and she could be treated like an ordinary teenager.
I guess.
No,
Yeah.
well, all that was before, and then like stuff started. I think the main reason is going to be like announced later, but stuff kept happening. I think her universe might be fundamentally changed and shit later. It's stupid.
Yeah.
Every new writer she had tried to find a new reason for why she was going to the new universe, and none of them could find a good reason for her to permanently stay.
hmm No. Is
And
what
don't
it is.
forget, not only that, but she's also permanently bonded with a symbiote. All the other creatures she's bringing over here.
I still keep forgetting that that's still a thing. You know, audience. Like,
They literally already announced her first villain, her own symbiote villain called Tantrum or some shit.
okay, good for her. Yeah. Question, audience: are you rooting for Spider Gwen or are you rooting for Tantrum at this point?
I don't care.
Okay.
I don't think they should have just demoted her to a side character. I feel like the more they do with her, the less interesting she gets.
Yep. But all right then. I guess. Any final thoughts on this, guys, before we move on?
Nope.
Okay.
I don't care about
All right.
Spider-Man or Gwen Stacy to really care.
Gotcha. Well, all right then, audience. With that, let's move on to the
You
last
should.
one.
It's only a matter of time for getting up your book.
True that.
That ain't happening
So,
with any of my favorites.
no,
Unless
all
Aurora
right.
dies for some reason.
Mhm.
She better
All
not.
right,
Anyway, since like I said at the beginning of this live, I won't be here tomorrow because I have work to prepare for a convention I'm going to this weekend. See y'all in Minneapolis. So I'm only talking about one book this week. I would have only talked about one book this week regardless, and it's Marvel Voices Avengers Academy 49. Yay!
Yeah.
So yeah, it's called Kindred. So we start off where we left off with Apostate is like all pissed off and she's gonna murder Brielle's mom and friends, two of them, just Lunella and Aaron, you know. And she's like, you vowed to cure my vampirism. You swore to make me whole. And switch to the next picture, by the way. And Emplate gripped it.
Yep.
Next picture.
Oh, next picture.
It did your job.
There you go.
Anyways, so he's like, oh yeah, I lied to you. There's no way to untwist the soul. Like, we are what we are. Bestie, have you ever heard of a skincare routine and a spa day before? I think you might need it more than she. I'm just get some creams up in there, okay? Go get Botox. Go get some Botox. And obviously, she's pretty pissed off because, you know, she's just been lied to about her potentially curing her vampirism. I think you could have went to anyone else with that proposition. I'm just gonna be 100% real with you there. Like, so be it. If I'm gonna be a beast, let me show you what I mean. And so basically, before that can happen, Emplate, like, basically throws her out the window, and he's like, "No, this house, this family are under my protection. Like, you will not harm them." Because if you guys remembered in the last issue, Brielle's mom basically saved Emplate when they first met, when he was still figuring out his powers. And so basically he's like, to his DOA, he's like, break the Slayer's bindings, then bring the car around and give the food. And so basically Brielle's like, wait, you remember us? And he's like, yeah, I told you at your school, Brielle, I've been watching you for a long ass time, dude. Like, I didn't want you. I wanted your girlfriend so that I can get her powers or whatever the fuck. I don't remember what he wanted from her, but don't worry about it. Anyways, he says that they were kindred, or whatever the fuck how you pronounce it. I don't care. And he's like, and she's like, but can I trust you? And he's like, oh no, not ever. Bro, what are you talking about? Anyways, so he's like, save your mother, Brielle. I will deal with the newborn vampire. And Apostate's like, you definitely could try. But, Brielle's like, I gotta go save my homies and my mom, And she basically is like, Aaron, wake up, get Lunella and my mom to safety. I need to figure out which monster to fight first or whatever. He's like, okay, that's cool. And so then he's like looking for like her mom. And guess what? She goes out the window, even though the front door was open. I don't know why you went out the window.
Wow.
The front door was open. Girly Pop, what are you doing? Anyway, so mom mode is activated, by the way. And she's like, Marius, is that you? And he's like, oh, like, no, don't look at me. And, like, all this other stuff. And Apostate's like, run. Like, a ruin, a liar, and a monster tries to attack. And, Brielle, like, comes in and she's like, hey, you guys stay the fuck away from our families, or else I'm gonna kill you. And she goes in for the attack. I know. They're fighting. And all this other stuff. And Brielle's mom and Marius have like a nice little chat. And he's like, she was right, I'm horrible, I'm a twisted thing. And mom mode activated, remember? And she's like, there's nothing to be ashamed of. Like, we survived, that's all that matters. And then we cut to the fight between Apostate and Brielle, and she's like, I'm so tired of fighting and all this other stuff. And Brielle's like, listen, you got dealt a hand you weren't expecting. I get that, but then we choose rather to be good people or not. But the ride shows up, and Brielle kicks her into the car. And she's like, who are we? Like, what our story's gonna be? Like, what we're gonna make it every day? Like, if you're not careful, like, this will be yours. The laters. And so basically, the DOA drives off. And we get a nice little scene between Marius and Brielle's mom. I forgot her name. I think I only saw it like once. Anyways, can you go to the next pick? I don't remember what the next pick was.
Yep.
Yeah, I could just leave it there. It's fine. I'm almost there anyway. And so basically, she's comforting Marius and all this other stuff, and he's asking for forgiveness and all this other stuff. And, hey, she's like, it's fine. You're fine. You survived. That's all that matters, And basically, he's like, oh, I killed my own mom when my powers activated, because he didn't know how to control them, like, especially when his mutant powers manifested. Not everyone's Monet. The golden child Monet of St. Paul, okay? Anyways, so, Brielle's mom is like, hey, I know this might be hard to hear, and probably impossible, but I think she might forgive you as well. Keep in mind, I said think. And so basically, they go back inside, and the picture that was hung up on the wall of the three of them got shattered, which it happens, I guess. And so basically, he's like, oh, it's too late. Like, I'm sorry, I'm too broken. And Brielle's mom is like, hey, never listen to me, okay? Like, trust me, there's still a room for you upstairs. Like, and if they try to send any other superheroes after you, don't worry about it. I got you, okay? Oh, her name is Saffron. That's what. I knew it was a spice. Her name is Saffron.
Got it.
Anyways, so yeah, basically she's like, hey, if you ever need a place to stay, the room is free for you. Okay? And he's like, formidable threat. And he's like, maybe someday. Can you switch to the next picture?
Oh, Sir Hauser.
Thank you. He's like, maybe someday, and he holds the picture and hands it back. and all this other stuff. And then Saffron was like, so someday then, like, don't worry, we'll be waiting. And so we cut to the morning, to the ye old hours of the morn. And Saffron's like, see, good as new, nothing that can't be mended. It's temporary. It's just like the wood on a freaking window. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And so we see Aaron and Lunella just playing in the front yard, and Brielle wants to talk. And she's like, hey, I think I might be like queer or bi or pan. I don't know what term to use. I'm still figuring it out. So, you know. Yeah, and so Saffron hugs her child. And she's like, but girl, I love you more than breathing. And I appreciate you telling me. But I kind of already knew. And Brielle's like, really? And she's like, yeah, duh. I raised you. I seen all the shit you did growing up. Don't think I didn't know.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, so you know they have a cute little heart to heart about everything. They bring up Sheila finally and all this other stuff. And it's all nice and sweet, and Aaron is helping Lunella get his shield out of a fucking tree. Lovely. Anyways, so we cut to the Western Temple of Sidorak in the slopes of the Whistler Mountain in Vancouver. I don't know how Alpha Flight didn't get their hands on this and check it out, but you know what? It's fine. Don't worry about it. None of them are a Juggernaut anytime soon. Whoop-de freaking do, am I right? Anyways, so we see Sidorak, and he's like, "Who dares disturb my fury?" I'm not doing a weird impression like you do, Cryptid. Okay, you're gonna like.
You could try, man.
No.
Try.
I wasn't destined to be a voice actor, okay? Anyways, so the person there is like, oh, Rage Father, it is I, Malfagor, your disciple, blah, 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 blah. And Sidorak is like, the runaway sorcerer, the mewling boy, the failure. And he's like, Malfagor is like, dread Sidorak, I have allied myself with great powers on this earth. Hydra rises again. It's like, shut up. Dr. Doom whooped your fucking asses. Dr. Doom and a bunch of kids whooped your fucking asses, okay? Like, 10 issues ago. Not even 10 issues ago. Like, Hydra will rise again, and I will soon be the heart of the maelstrom. When will you grant me your power? He just looks pathetic. And not in a good kind of pathetic. Just like a sad kind of pathetic.
Yeah.
He looks like a freaking Discord or a Reddit moderator, and not in a good way. Anyways, so he's like, for long I have served you, and Sidorak's like, I do not value service, nor loyalty, nor adoration. Show me battle, show me blood, and show me fucking bone, bitch. Okay? 2 of my apostles already walked this world, and they're just like hanging out. The Renouncer, Wandering Cain, and the Cherub, heir of the Bloody Moon Hojin. That's just, we're talking about Justin, by the way, because he's alive. Okay, his father and grandfather are not alive.
Right.
Keep in mind, Justin's hanging out. He's living his best life. Okay, Cain, he's hanging out with the X-Men. He gets to be an X-Men even though he's not a mutant. He's not a mutant, guys. I need to preface this. His powers are magical. His powers come from Sidorak.
It's the X-Men's way of wanting to be inclusive. To have a non-mutant in their team, I guess, you know?
I mean, he is an X-Men villain, so we'll get... He kind of is sometimes an X-Men villain. And plus, his husband, Black Tom Cassidy, is a mutant, so it's fine. Before you're like, is that canon? Shut up, it is to me. Anyways, so Sidorak is like, but perhaps seeds long planted at last grow to ripeness, and I abhor power divided. Very well, little grasping boys, stake your claim. Set the field, summon the gladiators. Let the time-tested contest of my champions once more be honored. Let it be. Switch to the last picture, please.
Right there.
Juggernaut versus Juggernaut. Yeah. Yeah. That's what the issue ends. Juggernaut versus Juggernaut. I don't know what to tell you.
Got you.
It's when an unstoppable force meets an unstoppable force.
I'm excited.
Gotcha.
Anyways, that's it. I would have talked about the Hellfire Vigil, but I didn't like it, so. Plus, that was like 50 pages. I don't want to talk about that.
Gotcha.
Yes, in the end, it
Well,
doesn't matter.
Alrighty, audience. Thanks for joining us for tonight.
Maybe I'll do a retrospective on the Marvel Mangaverse. If anyone's interested in that, let us know in the comments.
Yay.
Well,
And with that, audience, we'll be seeing you all next time.
See you guys next
ya.
Or at Uncanny. Bye.